I'm going to try to demonstrate some processes in the behavior of pigeons. And whether I do or not depends on the pigeons.
The brain trick that keeps you scrolling on your phone was figured out over 70 years ago inside a small, quiet box with a pigeon. And that's not just a story. The strong feeling that you have to check your phone to pull down and refresh your screen comes straight from experiments that were used to control animals. These tests, run by a psychologist named B.F. Skinner, who many people disagreed with, found a powerful trick, a way to build habits that are super hard to stop. The people who made our apps and games have built huge companies using this one simple idea from a lab. They have basically put a version of this Skinner box into everyone's pocket. So how does a trick used on a pigeon now control what you look at? And what does this science of habit making tell us about your phone? To find out, we have to go back and look inside that box. But the story of the box starts even before the box was made, with a simple idea from a scientist named Edward Thorndike. A long time ago, he put cats inside puzzle boxes. To get out and get a food reward, they had to do something, like pull a rope. He saw that cats didn't think their way out. They just moved around until they accidentally did the right thing. Every time he put them back in, they got out faster. From this, he made a rule called the law of effect. Actions that get you a good thing are more likely to happen again. It was a simple idea, but it changed everything. This was the idea B.F. Skinner wanted to perfect. Skinner thought that free will wasn't real. He said that everything we do is just because of what's around us and what we've been rewarded for in the past. To prove it, he needed to build a perfect little world, a place where he could put an animal, get rid of all distractions, and see exactly how rewards changed what it did. So he built a special chamber that his students called the Skinner box. It was built for perfect control. It was a small, quiet, dark box with something simple inside, like a button for a pigeon to peck and a machine that gave out a food pellet. A special pen would draw a line to track every single peck, so he could see everything. Inside this tiny world, Skinner could teach new behaviors. He used a method called shaping, where he would reward a pigeon for just looking at the button, then for moving closer to it, then for touching it, and finally only for pecking it. With these small steps, he could teach an animal to do new things. But while doing this, he found something so powerful, we still feel its effects today. Skinner's biggest discovery wasn't just that rewards work, it was that the pattern of the rewards is what really matters. He found that if you give a pigeon a treat every single time it pecks the button, it learns very fast. But as soon as the treats stop, the pigeon stops pecking. That makes sense, but what if you only give it a treat some of the time? Skinner discovered this made the pecking habit much stronger and harder to stop. He found a few different patterns, but one was the most powerful and most addictive of all. It's called a variable ratio pattern, and it's the secret behind why your phone is so hard to put down. So why is this pattern so powerful? Because it's all about surprise. A variable ratio pattern means the treat comes after a random number of pecks. For the pigeon, this means it might get food after 1 peck, then maybe after 20 pecks, then after 5. The pigeon knows a treat is possible, but it never knows when. That surprise is the key. It makes the pigeon feel excited, always waiting for the next one. Our brains work the same way. The brain gets more excited waiting for the prize than it does from actually getting it. The feeling of maybe this time is what gets you hooked. Because the pigeon never knows which peck will be the lucky one, it feels like it has to keep pecking, fast and without stopping. There's no good time to take a break because the very next peck could be the winner. This makes the habit super hard to break. If the treats stop coming, the pigeon doesn't know if they are gone forever or if it's just unlucky, so it keeps trying for a very, very long time. Skinner had created a way to make anyone or any animal repeat a habit over and over. And other people soon realized this trick could be used on humans, not with food, but with something everyone wants. The ideas found in that little box didn't stay in the lab. They were used to build huge, billion-dollar companies. The two best examples are casinos and the social media apps on your phone. A slot machine is basically a Skinner box for people. A person does a simple action, pulls a handle or pushes a button to get a reward, money, that comes on that same surprise schedule. You never know which pull will win the jackpot, so you feel like you have to keep pulling over and over, just like the pigeon. Casinos make this even stronger with flashing lights and fun sounds that make you feel excited. And they even make the machine show a lot of almost wins to keep you hoping and playing. But the smartest Skinner box ever made is the one in your pocket. A man named Tristan Harris, who used to work at Google, called the smartphone a slot machine in your pocket, and he was right. The connection is scary and simple. The pigeon pecking the button is like a gambler pulling a lever, which is just like you pulling down to refresh your screen or scrolling to see the next video. The action is easy, and you do it over and over. The reward is a surprise. Is it food? Is it money? No, it's the biggest reward in the online world, getting attention from others. Think about pulling down to refresh your screen. The person who invented that said it was just like a slot machine handle. You do something with your hand and you get a surprise result. Maybe new stuff, maybe nothing. Or think about scrolling forever. Each time you flick your thumb, you're making a tiny bet that the next thing you see will be a win. A funny video, a cool picture, something interesting. The prizes you are playing for are likes, comments, shares, and notifications. When you open your phone, you never know if you'll have a bunch of new notifications or nothing at all. This creates the exact same surprise feeling as the slot machine and the pigeon's box. It's not even about finding something good anymore. It's about feeling that excitement of maybe. The habit becomes its own reward, creating a powerful loop that's hard to escape. This system has created what some experts call an attention economy, where your focus is the product being sold to advertisers. The goal of these platforms is to keep you engaged for as long as possible, and they have thousands of engineers working to find and exploit the vulnerabilities of the human mind. This creates a massive power imbalance. On one side are supercomputers and teams of experts, and on the other is your brain, which is simply outmatched. The result is what former tech ethicist Tristan Harris calls human downgrading, a rise in addiction, distraction, and isolation on a global scale. The line from that pigeon in a box to the phone in your hand is a straight one. We are all now living inside the largest behavioral experiment in history. But this experiment isn't just about keeping you scrolling, it's about something bigger. The same companies using this trick have also created a system to secretly grade and categorize your life.